Hello, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to MLS, and more specifically, New York City FC. We're going to do a new series here, obviously, in MLS. Reason being is that I generally suck at it. I don't think I have lasted more than a season since I was playing as the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. So, for people who are fans of MLS, that'll give you some idea of roughly how long it's been since I was able to crack America, and that is... When were they around? That's got to be at least 10 years. I think that predates the New York Red Bulls. Now, why did I choose New York City? We'll have a quick look through here while we do this. A couple of reasons. First of all is that I was looking on YouTube trying to decide which set of fans I liked and who I wanted to manage, and I got NYCFC stuck in my head. So while you're watching this, just know that is being chanted continuously on a loop in my head the entire time we're playing this. Now, if we see here, we have the traditional New York rivalries, obviously New York Red Bull, and then Philadelphia and DC. A little bit surprised New England isn't there, sort of the Boston rivalry. Maybe they are just that bad that they just don't even register. There are a couple of other reasons why I wanted to do New York City FC. Obviously, I have the history in Football Manager of managing the Metro Stars. Didn't really want to manage Red Bull just because they're a bit of an evil empire, so decided I would go with New York City for a couple other reasons as well. They have Pirlo, and who doesn't want to manage Pirlo? And then I just always got the feeling that even though they're a new club, that they've underachieved in MLS. They haven't really... from what I understand, and I have to admit I don't follow MLS as closely as some, but they don't really seem to have challenged at the top of the league. They don't really seem to have if they've made the playoffs, which this is showing my ignorance, isn't it? They certainly haven't gone deep into them that I'm aware of. So I just get the feeling that they've underachieved a little bit. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to try and hopefully build them up and let's go and win an MLS title, although there's just as big a chance that I could be sacked within a season and they will just carry on their merry way. And we see here, obviously, we have the link up with Manchester City and Melbourne City as well. A couple of minor clubs in the US as well. We'll have a look at those. But the big thing, I think, is have a look at our finances. We've got $4.5 million in the bank. We have quite a bit of wages. Now, this is the thing that does my head in with American sport, and specifically, obviously, in this case, MLS, is the salary caps and the trades and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to take me a little while to get my head around that. If you have any tips or advice, then please do share them with me, because we can assume I'm going to struggle. So we see here, welcome to NYCFC. We'll attend those meetings later. I won't make you sit through those. Transfer updates here. Mixed Discarud, I remember him. He was at Rosenborg, wasn't he? Jefferson Mina Camargo. I'm going to have to get better with some of these names. Herrera. Now, Herrera, I've mentioned, he is actually quite a highly rated player, I think. Yeah, Venezuelan. Yeah, he is definitely a highly rated player. So he's someone that we could look to build around, though he's only on loan, so we'll probably only have him for this season. Injuries, broken pelvis, so we're not going to see him for most of this season. A couple of other minor-ish issues there. Contracts and renegotiations. This is what's going to do my head, and I'm going to need some time to sit around this. DP, now that's another place. The Australian A-League has a similar situation to that. So I should... That's the David Beckham rule, I understand. So they don't count towards the salary cap. So that's going to be fine. Responsibilities, we can deal with that later. The squad, this is what we all care about. Pirlo, of course, he retires at the end of this season. Look at those technical skills and the mental skills. Physical, not so much. He's obviously going to be someone we build a team around, though. Look at that. Flair 19, vision 20, passing 20. Oh, just getting excited looking at him. David Villa, obviously there's another one. Good finishing. He is going to be a big player for us. Let's see if we can get this into position-wise. Okay, so we have 3 goalkeepers here. Yeah, it's not bad. Could be better. How are we going for defense? He looks decent. Ethan White. Yeah. Jefferson Mina. If you are a New York City fan and you have any advice who we should be playing, who we should be looking to get rid of, by all means do leave comments, because, as I said, I'm coming into this very much blind. MLS, I lived in Canada for a while, and I did enjoy MLS as a sort of a Saturday night thing to watch, but living in the UK now, it's you get the occasional game that's at a reasonable hour, but most of them, to be honest, are are just 2 a.m. kickoffs, and as much as I do love my football, 2 a.m. is not something that I like to do. So we've got some decent players here. It looks like they do love a defensive midfielder though, don't they? Holy, look at that. So the one thing I am picking up from just quickly flicking through all these players here is there really is a lack of creativity in this team outside of PLO, isn't there? Mixed Disarud, he's decent. He's got potential there. McNamara, now I think he was the vice captain, wasn't he? So he's someone that could be good for us. We've got Harrison and Lewis here. So yeah, lacking in the striking, isn't there? Holy, if David Villa gets an injury, we could be in some trouble. He looks good too. That's the guy that's out, isn't it? Camargo, he's gone for quite a while. Maxi Morales. We know all about Villa. Shelton. Yeah, decent physical stats, but not great finishing. What's Okolai got here? Yeah, much the same. So just first impressions I get of the squad here is that if we want to play 2 up top, and if you've watched my Villa save, I do tend to like to play 2 up top. We're going to have to sign some people. Defensively, I think we could be maybe a little bit better. We do have good options wide, which is good because I like playing with wing backs. So that could be good. We could potentially look at doing maybe a 4-3-3. We have some decent players that can play out wide, and then we can just play Villa up front. So we've got some options here. I'm going to have a quick think about how we want to go about doing this. Let's have a look at the dynamics, the hierarchy. So obviously Pirlo and Villa are the leaders. No highly influential players. Hopefully that'll change as we get a team together here. Some influential players and the others and the social groups. So that's good. There's a good core group there, and we have some new players here I would suspect who haven't quite integrated yet. Tactics, we'll deal with those once I've had a better chance to look at it. So strengths and weaknesses, that looks pretty good here, doesn't it? Not a great deal of depth outside of the first team. Yeah, that's definitely something that I noticed. Do love a defensive midfielder. I'm assuming midfield depth is going to be one of the strengths there. Better depth, yeah, we've used centre back. Strength, so we have a weak squad and we lack leadership. I'm not too worried about the lacking of leadership because we do have Pirlo and Villa, so I think we'll be able to get through with that. So we have some wiggle room here in the staff too. We can definitely get some more scouts in. We can definitely get a few more coaching in to strengthen that. Training and medical center, we'll deal with that off screen here. Let's have a look at the schedule. We have a few friendlies coming up here. Toronto FC, Dallas, Salt Lake. So we have quite a few against MLS teams, which is interesting. You don't usually tend to play teams in the same league in friendlies, but I guess MLS is kind of limited where you get your quality opposition from. So yeah, there we go. First league game is going to be Orlando City, so that'll be Kaká. Competitions, MLS Supporters Shield. Now, MLS Supporters Shield is the league, from what I understand, and so it's like the league table, because if you win that, I think you win the Supporters Shield. Again, if I'm messing this up, please do correct me. US Cup is the equivalent of the FA Cup. Do we have the rules here? Overview rules. Yeah, see, salary cap this is going to do my head in. I'm going to need to definitely need some time to study here. Top 4 teams qualify for the North American Champions League. That'd be neat if we could sneak into that. Draft dates. Oh, we've got drafts as well. We're going to get the full American experience here, guys. This is going to be interesting. Scouting. We have a few here already. Now, I think I read somewhere that we share scouting information with Manchester City. Was it affiliates? Manchester City clubs share the same board. Clubs share scouting knowledge, so we should have no problem scouting players if we're sharing the knowledge with Man City, because I'm going to assume that they have scouts all over the place. So this should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, if you have any information for me on how MLS drafts and trades and all that kind of stuff works, please do leave it for me, because, as I said, MLS is not my strong point. I'm really hoping to redeem myself a little bit here. Again, if you're an NYFC fan, who are the players we should look out for? What are our weaknesses? Who should we sign? Is there anybody's aware of that we should maybe look to do a trade for within MLS? But otherwise, and tactics too. How should we play? How do they play in real life? All these things, we're going to need some help to get this going. But we're going to leave it there for today. Do give me a thumbs up if you've liked the sort of the introduction, I guess, to the squad here. Subscribe to make sure you see us conquer or fail miserably at MLS. Other than that, I've been Aussie Villain. I do have an Aston Villa save as well that we have going, so check that out if you do enjoy the videos. But I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time for the start of our MLS campaign.